Hey everybody, and welcome back to Interrogation. You will be deceived. The game is all patched up now that prevented me from playing at some point last week. So now we will continue forward to find out the identity of these three people or who put the bomb. But let's catch up on see what's going on. The Liberation Front's plot was larger than we anticipated, involving simultaneous bombing operations across the city. Despite our best efforts, we were able to track down all of them in time. We were unable to track down all of them in time. Can't remember if I said that wrong or not. One of these explosions happened in a large downtown office building close to the end of working hours. Although the casualty reports are still being compiled, estimates hint at least dozens of dead, missing, and wounded. Our explosive forensics team claims a shortwave radio signal was used to detonate the bomb and that it was expertly placed on the 13th floor of the building. The floor was being renovated for the past few months and was empty at the time of the explosion. Unfortunately, due to the construction work, the CCTV system on the floor was not operational. By sifting through the recordings of the elevator cameras, we managed to identify three people who briefly stayed on the 13th floor at the day of the explosion. These people are currently our strongest leads and may provide further insights. They have voluntarily consented to be questioned. Okay, person number one. We got Maya Clarke, a 30-year-old female. Maya Clarke is an employee of Giroshiba Inc., an electronics retailer that rented the 3 floors below the one where the explosives were placed. So why did you need to go up a floor, Miss Clarke? She has no criminal record, and her performance reports show she is a hardworking, committed employee. While we cannot establish a motive at this time, Clarke had free access to the building and ample opportunity to set up the explosives. At the very least, she might prove useful. She might provide useful information about coworkers, the other people in the elevator, or about the events during the day, opening up new leads. Okay, so she's potentially not a suspect, but she's potentially could give us some good insights. Okay. And then we have Mr. Alex Nowak, age 31. We have not been able to dig up much about Nowak's past. He has had several name changes throughout the years, and his most recent medical records state he is suspected of suffering from a form of schizophrenia. Okay, so we may have some difficult times interacting with him. For the past year, Alex Nowak has been receiving care and medication from Humanitas, a charity founded by Gabriel Adams. That name sounds familiar. Why have we interacted with Humanitas in the past in the game? I don't remember. His mental instability makes him a possible suspect, and his association with the Adamses maybe might have allowed him access to the 13th floor. Okay, so is the 13th floor where these people were, the Humanitas? Is that's why we remember them? Because they were renovating the 13th floor? And then Mr. Gabriel Adams, who appears to be some member of clergy. A well-known and respected local priest, Gabriel Adams has been preaching in the city for the last years. More recently, he has founded Humanitas, a Christian charity focused on helping people with disabilities or special needs and reintegrating them into society. Humanitas has had great success and has received donations and fundings from several high-profile philanthropists. Incidentally, the 13th floor is where the future headquarters of the expanding charity would have been located. Adams had restricted access to the building, so he cannot be ruled out. He had unrestricted access to the building, so he cannot be ruled out from the suspect list. Okay, so Humanitas was supposed to take over the 13th floor, but then it exploded. All right. Hopefully this one isn't timed. It doesn't seem to be very urgent. So maybe this episode won't be as, oh yeah, not time. Great. But we could still flub up. Like, we could still fail by forcing someone into a corner that we can't get out of, maybe? So let's hope that this isn't as quite as much of a failure as the last episode. Okay, let's go. Let's take it real easy. No like assumptions, no arguments, no hostile interrogations. We just want to be kind of neutral with these people, yeah? So Hello, Miss Clarke. Thank you for agreeing to answer a few questions. No problem. Questions about what? We just have a few questions about the explosion in the office building you worked in. That'll become clear very soon. Just answer the questions. Or you're here to prove to me you're not a murderous terrorist. No, we're not being accusatory. Just some questions about the explosion. It was quite the tragedy. What happened, I mean? Not the questions. I mean, I would say that that statement would indicate someone that's kind of nervous, but I'm not seeing any nervous. I do have a few more personal questions. Yeah, any family we should notify that you're here with us today? Well, my mother, I mean, she'll be fine. It's fine. Sure you don't want to tell your mom you're here? No, I guess not. Do you live here in the city? Yes, moved in, came here a few years ago, for work. Alright, well where do you work then? Nice segue there. Well, nowhere right now. I mean, I used to work in the office building that blew up, but, like, it blew up. Okay, well, where in the office building did you used to work? Did any coworkers seem suspicious to you in any way? Just a couple of run-of-the-mill sexual harassers, but probably not terrorists. How can sexual harassers be run-of-the-mill? That doesn't usually happen in offices. I hear you. HR doesn't really do anything about them, does it? Or, well, sales culture invites that type, I guess. I hear you. HR doesn't really help out with that, do they? Oh, she got a little more compliant with us. No, just some symbolic stuff without the discernible effect. Or maybe something serious, just if the infraction's obvious. Half of those nasties are best buds with the bosses of HR anyway. Yeah, I hear ya. We're friends. We're cool friends. I don't even remember your name, but we're cool friends. Can you tell me a bit more about these sexual harassers? Like what was going on? Officer, this is not a topic I would like to discuss. I would be glad if we could skip it. I mean, they aren't terrorists, if that is your worry. Trust me on that. Okay. Well, what do you do? I'm in sales. Sales manager. Used to be, at least. Not sure where the company stands right now. What does a sales manager do exactly? I coordinate different sales efforts. I assign sales territories, set quotas, organize and mentor the sales team, assign sales training, write sales plans. I guess it is similar to being a manager in any other field. Sounds very involved. Is it difficult? Did you spot anyone other suspicious? From the other floors, other building, any other companies in the building? No, I mean, there was this janitor that was stealing soap, but they fired him. Okay, well, sure. Did you enjoy your work, ma'am? No, not really. I mean, I don't think about it like that. Money is money. I'm good at sales, and I get to focus on my passions the rest of the time. Okay, I get you. Alright, you tolerate your job because it gives you the money to pursue your passions. Would you like to talk to me about them for a second? Tell me about your passions, ma'am. Well, I don't see how they are in any way relevant to the investigation. I mean, I don't think they are anything special. I like what everyone likes. Hanging out with friends, traveling, a bit of martial arts. A bit of art. Okay. I'm sorry for the previous conversations about your romantic situation. Like, that's unusual. Is that the sexual harassment? Like, what kind of question is that? So you say you like hanging out with friends. You say you like traveling. Any favorite destinations? You say you enjoy going to concerts. Any favorite bands? You like hanging out with your friends? Yeah, please. If you want to know something about the explosion, you can just ask me. Otherwise, I'd like to go home now. Any favorite destinations you got? Oh yeah, seems like she didn't like that. Okay, so I'm sorry. Let's go back. Let's go back. That's probably a flub on our part. Should have taken the hint when she was like, stop asking me. Okay, I have some questions about the explosion then. Where were you when the explosion happened? I was on my way home, heading for the subway. Okay, you must have known people affected by the explosion. How are you holding up? Oh, well, she's liked us a little bit more there. I'm fine, still processing all this, but I'll be fine. Do you have any idea why someone would choose that specific building? No, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, there there were many people in here. Maybe that's why. Do you have any witnesses who can corroborate what you said about where you were? Maybe it's not time to ask her that yet. That sounds a little accusatory. The bomb contained traces of peroxide, citric acid, and nitromethane. Are you familiar with these substances? Yeah, I don't know about that one. I assume at this point you know about the Liberation Front? They claimed the attack, yes. Okay. You know what they stand for? Stand for, like, anti-establishment, right? They actually stand for equality, an ideal form of it, or absolute form of it. Isn't that a noble ideal? They actually stand for personal freedom, an absolute form of it. Isn't that a noble ideal? Or they actually stand for state dissolution, the dissolution of authority. Isn't that a noble ideal? Like, why do I have to choose one of these? Sounds like frustrated teenage stuff to me. Okay, sure. Yeah. What do you think about them? Sounds like excuses to do evil. Yeah, okay, sure. How do you feel about them doing things like bombing here in the city? Angry and scared, alright. Were you forced to work with them? No, let's not say that. We have video of you taking the elevator to the floor where the bomb was placed, ma'am. Huh? They said the terrorists weren't targeting our company specifically. Oh, you mean the 13th floor? Yes, the 13th floor. Why were you on the 13th floor, ma'am? That's it exactly. Because of this, you are one of our main suspects. Because you were there, we hope you could tell us or help us understand what happened. Because you were there with two others, we hope you can answer some questions about them. Hope you can help us understand what happened. Okay, she's a little wider now. Not quite fully. If we had not flubbed that one thing, we may have her fully expanded. Well, I didn't see much. I mean, there wasn't much to see, you know? Okay, well then, I'm gonna have to ask you some questions about some other people then. Let's talk about that janitor. The janitor that was stealing the soap. Sure, but they fired him half a year ago. What impression did he give you? I didn't really talk to him, but we all know he was stealing soap. Was he angry at getting fired? I guess. No one likes getting fired. Have you seen him since then? Well, I saw him downstairs a few weeks ago talking with some other guys. Old coworker friends, I think. Alright, so potential that he might have access to the building. Somehow. Was there anyone else on the 13th floor with you? Nobody I knew, just some priest and some guy looking around. Okay, tell me about the priest. Sure, what about him? What impression did he give you? He seemed nice, I mean dignified and all that. He had a nice voice too, very soothing. Okay, did you talk about anything? Not really, I mean other than he talked some, gave me a little speech about how smoking kills you. And did he stop on the 13th floor? Yeah, we all did, I mean, we didn't plan on it, it just happened. Well, why did you stop on the 13th floor? I don't think we've answered that question, at least not to my liking. Let's talk about the other guy. Sure. What impression did he give you? He seemed really sad. He looked at the priest all the time like a puppy would. And did you talk about anything? Not really. I just caught him telling the priest, I hope they like me, or something like that. Broke my heart for all of 5 seconds. Did he stop on the 13th floor? Yeah, I told you he did. He stopped there with his priest buddy. We just have to ask, ma'am. Just have to ask. Alright, I just need to look through some of the other things. Ah, here we go. So, I missed this whole thing about what happened on the 13th floor. That's important stuff. Why'd you go to the 13th floor? It's always free. Barely anyone there. Calm and quiet. What did you do when you were there? I just sat somewhere and smoked a bit. I mean, it's a quiet place, you know? What usually goes on that floor? Nothing, just some construction work sometimes. It was being renovated. No one was working there. Okay, and well, who were those people? We already asked this question and she probably won't like it. I don't know, I mean, I don't know them. Just a priest and some guy. Did you see anyone else? No one really. I mean, other than the guys that were in the elevator with me. They stopped there too. Did you see anything out of the ordinary? I don't know, I mean, I wasn't really looking and nothing grabbed my attention. Do you often go to smoke on the 13th floor? Okay, yes, I do. I mean, I'm a smoker, and there is no other quiet place where I can do it. Alright. Nothing else. All right, let's. I gotta talk to some other people, ma'am. Mr. Nowak. First of all, that's a very fine Ushanka you have there. Hello, Mr. Nowak. Thank you for agreeing to ask a few questions. Or Alex, we have a photo of you taking the elevator, a video of you taking the elevator to the floor where the bomb was placed. I have some questions about the explosion. I have some questions about some other people. I assume that by this point you know about the Liberation Front. No, let's start out, you know, introduce ourselves. Hello, Mr. Nowak. We are unnamed person I don't remember the name of. Thank you for agreeing to answer a few questions. You're welcome. If you cooperate, you'll be out of here in no time. I think your input will be very useful in our investigation. I hope you took your pills, crazy pants. We'll be here a while. No, let's be very nice to him. I think you'll be very useful. Oh, see, expanded a little bit. Thinking is very important, just in regular amounts. Okay, so you're an overthinker, are you? Okay, that's understandable. I have some questions for you, sir. Then I'm the best guy to ask. Of course, yeah, if I have questions for you, I should ask you. Are you employed? I'm on medical leave, officer. I'll get back to work soon. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I hope you do. Should we notify any family of your whereabouts? Let them know that you're safe. No need for that. I know my way home. Okay, sure, all right. What do your friends call you? Did they call you Alex or call you Nowak? They used to call me Bob, but I don't go by that anymore. All right, so what should I call you? Alex is fine, or Nowak, or a combination, in any order really. All right, Alex. I'd like to ask some questions about your condition, if that's okay. Then or now? Let's talk about then. Right now is what I'm interested in. What the hell are you talking about? Let's talk about then. Then is important to talk about, even if it hurts. Ooh, what kind of symptoms did you have? They talked and I listened too much. They were very distracting. I couldn't focus. And yeah, how'd you live with that? I kept breathing. I focused on that. And eating, that was important too. Yeah, nutrition is very important. You're right about that, Alex. When did that start manifesting? Like, when did this start happening to you? I first heard the birds when I was 12. The woman came later, when I was 18. The birds. Okay. Yeah. Well, how'd you manage? I didn't. Father Gabriel's charity dealt with it. Okay. Alright, well, we'll talk to Father Gabriel in a second. Tell me about the birds, though. Who are the birds? Who were? They're not anymore, for the most part. Okay, so no more birds. And what about the woman? Who's the woman? Was. She went away for good. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Alex. Glad to hear that, Alex, but I want to talk about some other things. Let's talk about you right now. How are you feeling right now, buddy? The now is all because of Father Gabriel's charity. It wouldn't be the now it is without that. Okay. I understand you like Father Gabriel a lot. You're enrolled in the Humanitas program? No, Father Gabriel enrolled me. I didn't see the point, but he insisted. Okay. What sort of treatment did you receive? They answer with a very visible cadence. Coordinated specialty care. Could you elaborate on what that means now? What in the what now? How about you stop talking gibberish and focus? What does that mean, coordinated specialty care? It means that someone talks to you, then someone else gives you the pills, and someone else is your friend. Well, that sounds very nice, Alex. That's very nice. Tell me, did the symptoms, like, go away gradually, or did they just, like, go away all at once? Like, tell me about the process of you getting better. It made everything quieter, and quiet helps me to stay focused. It's good. Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, how long were you in their coordinated care, or whatever you said? Coordinated specialty care, excuse me. It never stops. I'm in my second year now. Well, that's important to keep your treatment going. I understand, yeah. Is religion the main focus of Humanitas? He's a priest, right? It's led by a priest. What do you think? Okay, you didn't really care for that, huh? Religion and crazy people, what could go wrong? Do they try to convert people? Does it have a religious agenda? Are you religious, Alex? Let's Let's not pour into this. I don't know if it's important to... You know what? I'm gonna ask. Do they try to convert people? I mean, they're not shoving Bibles down people's throat, if that's what you mean. But it is led by a priest. Okay, and this is the hard one. I don't really like asking this, but I'm gonna ask it. Are you religious, Alex? Didn't change his demeanor. Okay. I've got enough to worry about in this life without worrying about the next one, you know? Okay, sure. Sure. Let's talk about the now again. So tell me, do you do advertisements for the charity? Yeah, I do interviews and photo shoots and stuff like that all the time. It's exhausting work, I have to say. I don't know how we knew that, how we knew to ask that, but sure. Let's go back. Let's continue to go back. We have lots more to ask you, Alex. I'm sorry it's taking so long. We have a video of you taking the elevator to the 13th floor. That's where the bomb was, Alex. I'm glad the drones are still working. Yeah, the drones weren't the ones that took the picture, Alex. What? No, there were cameras in the elevator, and we have a picture. Oh yes, you've been on our radar for quite some time. You're in big trouble. Alex, relax. I just need your help understanding what went on there. It's not a conspiracy, dude. Just relax. Can't tell if that increased his liking of us or not. I'm relaxed. Maybe you should relax. I'm here to help you understand. Well, thank you, Alex. Thank you. Why'd you stop on the 13th floor? The elevator stopped there because that's the button Father Gabriel pressed. Elevators are cool. They are. They are. Was there anyone else with you? There was this woman. She was smoking, sitting on a pile of concrete sacks. Okay, and did you see anything out of the ordinary? I try not to see extraordinary things, really. I understand, Alex. That's important. It's important for you to see reality as it is. I understand. Who were you with in the elevator? Tell me more about them. Father Gabriel, of course, and a woman. I don't know her name. I'm sorry. I should have asked. That's fine. That's fine. What did you do while you were on the 13th floor? I looked around. I played with some small concrete pieces on the floor for a bit. Not much, honestly. Okay. Alright, so you were just there because Father Gabriel was there. I understand. Well, I have some questions about the explosion then. It was how the universe began. Oh, not that one. Oh, yeah, sure. Ask. Yeah, not the Big Bang. Where were you when the explosion happened, Alex? In the car, I think. We heard about it on the radio. And do you know why someone might have bombed that building in particular? Because of the poor structural design? How do you know it had poor structural design, Alex? That's awfully specific, Alex. You think about structural integrity a lot? Yeah, I've been thinking about that since the explosion. Makes sense, doesn't it? You're onto something, but who might be part of this conspiracy? It was just an act of random violence. No conspiracy there. No, tell me about it, Alex. Tell me. It had to be someone with access, motive, and possibly delusions of power. Someone really should get a team to investigate this. That's what we're doing, Alex. That's what we're doing right now, and you're helping me. Did anyone you know get hurt in that explosion? No, they missed us this time. Bad coordination on their part. You think terrorists were targeting you specifically? Yeah, they were after me. They fucked up their timing, but not by much. Half an hour earlier, and I'd be toast. Why would they want you dead, Alex? That's the part I'm still trying to figure out, man. Well, would they also want to kill Father Gabriel? Yeah, that makes no sense. Kill him and he goes to heaven, so he's covered, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. Alex, I've made up my mind about your theory. No, let's not talk about his theories. Let's ask him about the peroxide, citric acid, and nitromethane. You know anything about those? Ooh, we really expanded now. That's a string of nice words. Sounds like the sort of thing you should ask a hardware shop about, though. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Some questions about some people, Alex. Was there anyone else on the 13th floor? There could have been hundreds of people up there. Didn't see any, though. Okay, sure. I have some questions about your friend Father Gabriel. Yes, what about him? What's your opinion of him? If he ain't an angel, God should hire him ASAP. He's a real nice dude. I feel like you're talking him up like he's a real nice dude and he's actually going to be not a nice dude, but, you know, continue to think he's a nice dude. Did you talk to him in the elevator or on the floor or anywhere? Did you talk to him? Yeah, he said he was doing God's work through his new headquarters for Humanitas we wanted to open. Well, it was longer than that, but that was the gist of it. And what did he do on the 13th floor? Why'd he go there? He said he had to inspect the refurbishing progress. So we went around, inspecting. Okay. And who were you referring to when you were telling the priest you hope people like you? Because I heard that. I heard you had maybe said something about that. We were going to meet some people in nice suits and ask them for money. Okay, so there was a money situation, so maybe this was like an insurance fraud. Okay, so you needed to go get some money, sure. I have some questions about that nice woman that rode in the elevator with you. I don't think it was legal that she was smoking indoors. Me either. She should have totally went outside, Alex. You're correct. What impression did she leave with you? I don't like smokers. I understand. Did you talk to her on the elevator, on the floor? What'd you talk about? Anything? No, I'm sure of that. I made sure to look if her mouth was moving. Oh. So you were concerned about her talking about you then? Okay. What'd she do on the 13th floor? Just sat somewhere and polluted the place with her stupid smoke? Okay, sure. Tell me about the Liberation Front. You know about them? No, who's that? Stop with the bullshit. You know who they are, so stop avoiding the subject. They're the people who put up the bomb, Alex. A bunch of terrorists that needs to be brought to justice. Terrorist, Alex. Well, if you say so. Until they blow up justice too. Okay. Do you know what they stand for? What do you think about the ideals? How do you feel about their aggressive means of pushing their agenda? Do you know what they stand for? I think they do most of their work sitting down. Haha, very funny actually. They actually stand for the state dissolution, the dissolution of authority. Isn't that a noble idea? They're a few centuries too late. Control of the masses has already been installed into our core human software. Okay, well, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to get much more out of you, Alex. I'm going to go talk with your friend, Father Gabriel. You just sit tight. Hello, Father Gabriel. Can I call you Father Gabriel? Do I have to call you Mr. Adams? Mr. Adams, thank you to agreeing to answer a few questions for me. Please call me Father Gabriel, or just Gabriel. How can I help you? Okay, Father. You can tell me why you murdered hundreds of people by placing a bomb on the 13th floor. Just a few questions to help us clarify some elements of this bombing situation. Nothing too hard. You can help by cooperating fully and answering truthfully. No, just a few questions. That's all. What a terrible tragedy that was. I'll do everything I can. God forgive those souls. Yeah, so God forgive those souls rather than God save the people that are injured, or God help the family of those that were killed. It's God forgive the souls of the terrorists then, huh? That's very interesting. It's very interesting. Okay. I have a few more questions, sir. Where are you from, Father Gabriel? I worked as a missionary for a long time. Home is a concept I'm just getting accustomed with. All right, well, that's a weird answer. You're being very evasive, sir. How long have you been preaching here in the town? 6 years now. How the time flies. Or any family we should notify? I already told my wife that I'll be home late tonight. It's fine. Thank you for the thought. What's your views on religion, Father? Well, since he's a priest, I don't think that's really a very hard question to answer. So, I wouldn't normally ask, but I'll ask. Tell me about religion. Oh, I think he disliked that a little bit. It's the ultimate human virtue. Our ability to worship is what elevates us from cattle. Okay, I can think of other virtues which are more important than faith itself. I always thought this religious thing was bullshit. What made you turn to religion, or do you try to convert those in your charity? What made you turn to religion, sir? Tell me a little more about yourself. Open up a little bit. I'm sure that you, of all people, understand the wickedness humans are capable of. It hides in all of us. Only through God's grace can the worthy few be saved. And are you doubling down on that wickedness right now, sir? Do you try to convert those in your charity? It's probably a bad question. No. It didn't seem like it affected it that much. Only any soul deserves salvation. It's not by chance they come to us. Okay, sure. I understand. I understand you're the leader of the charity Humanitas. I'm glad you've heard of us. The support we've received has been a blessing. Yeah, we'll see how good it is actually, won't we? I'm glad someone is trying to make this mess of a city better, or... Of course, who better to lead charitable efforts than a priest? Well, I'm glad you're helping. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Expand out a little bit more. I assure you, it's a labor of love done in his name. I understand. What does your charity do? We try to help those struck by misfortune and put them on a path of self-improvement. Well, how did you get in contact with Alex then? Well, it's actually a funny story. We were doing an outreach effort in a poor neighborhood, effectively a large and free buffet. Alex came to us with a boot and a pot, saying that he also wanted to help. His warm soul fought his inner demons even then, before receiving any support. Well, that's very nice of him. I'm glad he was able to offer what meager rations he had, even if his rations were a pot, or a boot, and a pot. What kind of help do you usually offer? Well, anything that they might require. We have a very case-by-case approach where we try to truly help each individual, rather than having ineffectual programs that target the masses without actually making any meaningful change, as any good pastor does to his flock. Okay, sure. What vulnerable groups do you target, or the mentally ill one of them? Are the mentally ill one of them, or is Alex an exception? What vulnerable groups do you target? That's odd. That's very accusatory, saying that they target the mentally ill. That's the negative connotation. I understand from Alex that you do something called coordinated specialty care. Is that treatment unique to him? No, it's actually a common recovery therapy for those with psychosis. Okay. Who are your main donors? Who you get money from? Our donations are anonymous, as I'm sure you understand. I'm sorry. Okay. Do you think it's morally right to drag Alex from interview to interview just to boost your donations? How dare you? Well, he didn't like that, did he? Well, you know what? I have some questions about you on the elevator. Their eyes widen in surprise. The bomb was in our future headquarters? Yeah, you haven't heard about that? Who would target a charity? The evidence places you as one of the main suspects of the bombing, so please cooperate. You see why we think your help would be invaluable in understanding what happened, or looks like it's time for me to receive a confession, eh, priest? No, we'd really like your help. There you go, expand out, buddy. Why'd you stop on the 13th floor? I was there to inspect the renovations if the renovations were on schedule. There were a few delays in the past. Yep, and was there anyone else on the floor? No, the workers doing the refurbishing were not there that day. Did you see anything out of the ordinary? I'm sorry, but no, I spotted nothing unusual. Who were you with in the elevator? Alex was with me, and a woman. She probably worked in the building. Okay, and what'd you do while you were on the floor? Tell me again about the renovations. I assessed the status of the renovations for our future offices, officer. I wasn't there for very long. There was little to look at. Okay. I have some questions about some other people. Anyone else on the 13th floor with you? No, the workers were not there that day. Alex was with me. Oh, and there was this woman there smoking in the lobby. Okay. Let me ask about the woman. I doubt she had anything to do with any of this. Well, how do you know? What impression did she give you? She just seemed bored with her job, officer, or tired by it, sneaking away to smoke on an empty floor. So juvenile. And why did you try to convince her to stop smoking? Well, smoking destroys our body. I think it is as simple as that. I usually tried to aid lost souls. What was she doing on the 13th floor again? Just smoking? She sat on a box in the lobby and smoked a cigarette. Her eyes into those Satan windows that smartphones are. Oh, Satan windows, huh? Tell me about Alex. What's your impression of him after the time you've spent together? Officer, if you could imagine but a fraction of what he's been through, you would admire him as much as I do. Okay, well, did he say anything suspicious in the elevator? Ooh, Alex? I agree he does sometimes say strange things, but that cannot be held against him. Okay, well, what did he do on the 13th floor? I don't think he did anything. He just waited for me in the lobby. Why was Alex with you? He usually helps me with fundraising, and we had just finished a meeting. Right? Well, Alex looks at you as some sort of saint. Are you comfortable with that? You must understand, Alex is not like other people. He doesn't use language quite like a normal person would. Alright. I don't know what I just clicked on. Questions about the explosion. Yeah, that's where I need to be. Questions about the explosion. I think. Yeah. Where were you when the explosion happened? I was in my car with Alex. Someone called to tell me about the tragedy. Alex said the news came up on the radio. Oh, did he? Oh, yes. That's right. What are you doing, sir? Did anyone you know get hurt in the explosion? I'd previously met with some executives that work there. I pray they're safe. Okay, well, Alex said the architects told you the building had poor structural integrity, and that's why it was chosen. It's not for us to question why these terrible tragedies happened. God will smite those whose wickedness harmed innocent souls. Okay. Well, first you were asking for their forgiveness, and now you're talking about God smiting them. Which one is it, sir? The bomb contained all these things. Are you familiar with any of those? I'm afraid I'm no chemist. Perhaps they were used by those renovating the floor. Okay, so you want to put the blame on the workers. Okay, sure. I have some questions about some other people. I assume at this point you know about the Liberation Front? Their only redeeming quality is their conviction. So sad it's so misplaced. You know what they stand for? Politics, as I understand it. Actually, they stand for state dissolution. Unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. There will always be leaders, but the soul can be led to righteousness only by yourself. Okay, well, what's your opinion on them? I think they sound good on paper, but I don't think they even bother with the guy. With the paper. Hold on, let's read this again. I think they sound good on paper, but I don't think they even bother with the paper they wrote them on. I don't think they even bother with the paper they wrote them on? What kind of weird question is that? Or weird statement is that? That doesn't even make any sense. Is that English? How do you feel about their aggressive means of pushing their agenda? Shows conviction, a rare trait nowadays. If only they understood that you can only reach people's hearts through words. Were you forced to work with the Liberation Front? Alright, let's go back and check some other people. Let's just confirm. Is there anything that we might have picked up on from those other questions? We can ask her about these substances. They sound like dangerous chemicals. I have no idea what they do. Okay, yeah. Alright, I don't think I'm getting anything more about her. Alex? There you go. There you go. There's some questions I can ask you about. All these tours and photo shoots you do with Father Gabriel, they must be taking their toll on you. Nah. Okay. You said that you heard about the explosion on the radio, and that you saw it from afar. Which one is it? Well, both. I saw it from a distance, and I also heard about it on the radio. Did you? Father Gabriel is using you to boost his donations. Quite shady behavior for a priest, don't you think? Oh, I don't know if he'll like that. If we call out Father Gabriel. I mean, I'll do it. Sound like you fully maxed out there for a minute. Listen, he's done me a lot of good. If he asks me to drive out in the middle of the night to meet people, I owe him that much. Can't you see the priest is just using you to do his dirty work? It's nice of you to try to help, but not everyone is as righteous as they try to seem. So a crazy man is given as an example and put on a pedestal seems deceitful to me. It's nice of you to try to help. Oh yeah, I think he's fully maxed now. Yeah, I'm sure you know a thing or two about that, don't you? Yeah, I know a thing or two about people not being as righteous as they seem. That's right. So he's telling me the truth. being super open with me right now. Mr. Adams. Anything more that might have opened up about you? So we could ask him if he was forced to work with the Liberation Front. Gabriel, if you had anything to do with this bombing, you need to tell me now. Confession absolves the soul, as you know. Were you forced to work with the Liberation Front? No, I was never contacted. Even so, my convictions are immutable to such pressures. Alright, well let's ask Alex. Were you forced to work with the Liberation Front? They don't have the kind of kilonewtons needed to make me work with them. Alright. Mr. Adams, if you had anything to do with this bombing, you need to tell me right now. I know of the stresses associated with your job, officer, but please do not turn it into wrath upon the innocent. Okay, well what other... I mean, she's kind of the most cagey person. Were you forced to work with them? Nope, they never approached me. I didn't, they would, I mean, force people into it. Weird writing, okay. Clear you placed the bomb. No, it's clear that Mr. Adams did it. But I don't know how to get him to fess up that he did it. Where'd you say where you were when the explosions happened? In the car, Alex and I heard on the radio, but that's... You didn't say that a second ago. You said that someone called you about it, sir. Alright, how do I get you to confess, sir? I'm gonna need you to answer my questions, sir. Well, we've reached the point that I am once again completely stumped. Like, he's freaking out. He's freaking out. But I don't know how to get him to confess. Maybe I can push him about Alex? I really can't. Maybe we can just try to push his buttons with his faith. I can think of other virtues which are more important than faith itself. Oh, and what would those be? Our ability to think rationally elevates us from animals. Our ability to feel strong emotions is what elevates us from animals. Our ability to stay at the top of the food chain is what elevates us from animals. Our abilities do not raise us above animals. We're all equally alive. Our ability to think rationally. While we are quite good at it, all animals have the ability to learn and apply what they've learned. Rational thought is not unique. Okay, well, let's go back to it then. I'll tell you. Well, I can't go back and try to figure out another answer then. Okay, so that's locked out. Well, let's push him. I always thought this religion thing was bullshit. Our souls require tending to. Someone in your position should know this. That didn't help. Tell me, freaking Gabriel. What's your opinion? How do you feel about the aggressive means of pushing their agenda? Were you forced to work with them? Come on, man. Just work with me here, dude. Don't tell me I'm gonna have to pause it again. Okay. I'm gonna have to pause the game and cheat again. This is getting very frustrating. Obviously. You can probably tell it. Very frustrating to work with. So let me give a quick pause and then we'll come back once I figure out what I'm doing. Okay, I'm back. I think what I need to do is press Alex some more, but I don't like to press Alex. He's been a good guy. All right, you've done nothing but evade my questions. Clear you have something to hide. There we go. See, it opens up this whole other thing, and now he's gone crazy. They lower their gaze and twitch. Emotions are the devil's gateway. Lock them up, chain them, and you chain your demons, Alex. So maybe pull some answers out by force. It's time for some brutal honesty. I'll sit here all night and question every fucking personality of yours if I have to. Or, I feel you have answers, Alex. Answers that can save lives, that can prevent tragedies like that explosion. Or, the nanobots have reached your brain by this point. You have no choice but to comply. Like, really? The nanobots? I mean, it's a yellow option. Let's click it. We are both the recipients and the generators of guilt. The cycle cannot be broken. Okay. I don't like you anymore, Alex. Let's talk about the Liberation Front. They mutter with a natural speaking cadence. Even the devil unknowingly does God's work. Alright, what do you think about their ideals? Many strong, independent voices, each demanding attention, but they all want something new. Alright. Well, how do you feel about their aggressive agenda? I think if you believe in something good, you should do everything for it. Should you even hurt people? Do you think what they want is good? You sound sympathetic to their causes. Are you a member? Even if you hurt people, Alex? No. But you have to fight the good fight, and evildoers will get in your way to try to stop you. You think what they're doing is good, Alex? Father Gabriel says the flood was good because it came from God. The new flood will be his will as well. Are you a member of the Liberation Front? You are not yet ready to become a full member of Humanitas, Alex. Not yet. Humanitas and the Liberation Front. All in one? Father Gabriel? I have some questions about Alex. No, but seriously, I have some questions about Alex. Were you forced to work with the Liberation Front, sir? Oh, come on. I have to go back to Alex? Okay. I have some questions about the explosion, then. You say the building was chosen because of the poor structural design. They whisper while staring with intensity. Free will and destiny are not mutually exclusive. We do what we must because we choose so. What did you choose to do, Alex? The man should give you 3 gallons. Make sure it says nitromethane on them. Bring them over, but don't shake them too hard. Were you brainwashed and hypnotized? I don't personally myself believe in hypnotism, but it sounds like you're hypnotized. What's the destiny you're talking about, Alex? We don't meet others by coincidence. Father Gabriel, you, that nice lady in the elevator, there has to be a reason for it. Okay, where'd you get these ideas? Father Gabriel told me I could choose to be strong, but also that God has a place for me in his plan. Thoughts like these keep me going. So someone gave you the explosions, the explosives. Okay, so I cannot ask him any questions about himself. Let's talk about the Liberation Front then. It's clear you planted the bomb, Alex. And so the truth bombs explode, and the officer misses them entirely, for their fifth eye is closed. Well, yeah, you planted the bomb. Someone gave you the materials, but you were told to by Mr. Man here. Yeah, here we go. Father, why was Alex buying nitromethane? What? Did he tell you that? He told me many things. We'll get to them. Please answer the question. He did, but he couldn't remember why he bought it. Perhaps you know. Drop the act, priest. Answer me now. Yes, of course. Nitromethane? I think it must have been for my model airplanes. I make fuel for them. Why'd you send Alex to pick it up for you? Model airplanes. Funny you never mentioned that. Are you part of any club? Why do you need nitromethane, Gabriel? They smile with only a lower part of their face. It's a composite for making fuel, of course. It's commercially available. And why did you send Alex? Send Alex to... I don't remember. I might have done that sometimes. I might have been busy. Should I ask Alex about any other errands he's doing for you? They smile while sweat runs down their forehead. Don't stress the poor boy. He does a lot for Humanitas, you understand. Better if you don't push him too hard. Okay. Funny you never mentioned model airplanes. No. I just do it in my spare time. I very rarely get the chance these days. Gabriel, I need you to tell me stuff. Officer, please, do not jump to any rash conclusions. Do you accuse of terrorism any individual who purchases flammable materials and has the misfortune of being in your presence? I'm a man of God. I've dedicated my life to saving people. How could you think I would be capable of such an task? I know you did it, sir. I just have to figure out how you did it. Let's go back to Alex. Alex, talk about the... Let's talk about the explosion. Did anyone you know get hurt in the explosion? I left a piece of me behind. It died there. You say the building was chosen because of the poor structural design? Free will and destiny are not mutually exclusive. We do what we must because we choose to do. Where did you say you got these ideas from? Father Gabriel, yeah. So you're not going to answer anything about the 13th floor anymore, or yourself. It's now a graveyard for those that could not be saved. We should have tried harder. Fuck them. They don't deserve mercy. And we can't ask them about other people. Think of yourself before thinking about other people. Okay, so that's locked out. This is locked out. This is locked out. Only thing we can ask them is about the explosion, which we've already went through all of that. Remind me where you were when the explosion happened. They look around in a spasm, then speak in a different voice. Let's go home, Alex. Okay, so... let's talk about the Liberation Front. I've asked you all these questions before. Some kind of connection between Humanitas and the Liberation Front. I don't think she's important at all at this point. But maybe she has something to tell me? Not at all. She's just she's a decoy. Mr. Adams, please. There you go. I have to ask him about religion. Okay. Alex tells me you believe that we were about to face a new biblical flood. Look around at how things are going. What do you think? Oh yeah, he's a little afraid. I don't believe in God, priest. I believe things are better today than they ever were in human history. I believe you're right. We're burning our bridges. They nod in excitement. Yeah, just so, officer. The devil has taken deep roots, but do not lose hope. God will extend us a helping hand, give us a fresh start. How do you envision this flood? Literal rain? Or what makes you think God is preparing to burn the place down? What would this new world look like? How do you envision this flood? No, of course not a traditional biblical rain. That's metaphorical. A cataclysmic chain of events that will wipe out the entrenched corruption wherever it is, followed by a process of renewal and spiritual enlightenment. And what makes you think God is preparing to burn the place down? The signs are there. It won't be long now. The few chosen ones must prepare the grounds for the rebirth. What would the new world look like? A world where the word of God easily reaches everyone. A virtuous world of peace and love. Our children will build this promised land. Will they? So you believe the world is going to end? Look around you. What do you think? What did Alex do on the 13th floor? What were you doing on the 13th floor? Here we go. I have some questions about the Liberation Front. The Liberation Front's desire to dismantle society can be seen as a new flood. To me, it sounds like you're a sympathizer. Officer, many people throughout history were blessed to understand that society needs to be reborn, both practically and especially spiritually. Not only this young Liberation Front. Okay. Were you forced to work with them? No, I was never contacted. Sure you weren't. Let's talk about nitromethane. There we go. No. Okay, yeah, we have one option. Drop it. I have you on record claiming that apocalypse is coming, as well as other extremist views. I also have you confessing to ordering the purchase of extremely flammable materials, claiming that they are a hobby that you cannot prove you have. On top of all of this, I have evidence that you inquired particularly into the structural integrity of that building, and that is only what I got from you and Alex up until now. It's not the apocalypse, it's the new flood, another chance to get things right, to do it properly this time. Alex has also told me about your troubling view that we're all damned and undeserving. How long until I get even more out of him? You planted the bomb. You want to bring this new flood yourself? Confess, priest. It's over. And it's what a good Christian would do, for his soul as well as for his neighbor, for Alex. You might think you can stop it, you unwitting agent of Satan, but it's unavoidable. Our children will walk in the kingdom of God after a flood cleanses the souls of the wicked. Alright, report my findings. Took forever, but let's report my findings. Adams can now be charged. Achievement unlocked on the subject of something something. The Peace and Stability Special Unit has been conducting investigations regarding the tragic terrorist attack that took place several days ago. We now have a solid list of suspects. We're still tracking down the possible leads. We have a solid list of suspects. In regards to the explosion that targeted the downtown Spring office building, our team was able to determine the exact nature of the bomb as well as its precise placement and brought in for questioning. Arrested 3 potential... No, we just brought them in for questioning. Identified through CCTV footage who had access to the floor, were involved in bombing, had incriminating backgrounds. No, they just had access to the facilities. The questioning had resulted in the confession and arrest of Gabriel Adams, a 38-year-old priest, cult leader, social activist. Let's say priest. I mean, probably priest and cult leader, but who admitted his connection to the Liberation Front terrorist group as well as the manufacturing and placement of explosives through an NGO he founded, Humanitas. Gabriel Adams had gained unrestricted access to the building by renting out the 13th floor where he placed the bomb. He was aided in this by Alex Nowak, a troubled young man enrolled in Humanitas' care system. Due to his circumstances, he will not be charged but placed into a mental facility, will be charged with conspiracy, will be questioned further, then released. No, I think he needs help. He'll be placed into a mental facility for further questioning. Or after further questioning. We'll help the poor lad. Because it's clear he's not stable enough to be out on his own. Great job, boss. Now that we have Adams and Nowak, we should get to grilling them. Which one do you want? Which one of us do you want on Nowak? Tab, you take Nowak. Jennifer, you take Nowak. Morty, you take Nowak. Jennifer, you take Nowak. I think you're good with like people. I think you have some background in juvenile. I mean, he's not juvenile, but maybe that'll happen. Jennifer, you go. And on Gabriel Adams, Morty, you take Adams. Tab, you take Adams. Adams won't give us anything. I want the rest of you ready for any mission instead. Morty, you're the streetwise person. You take him on. And that means we only have Tab. Let's go ahead and order an HR report for next time. Let's give him a little bit of therapy, perhaps. Maybe it's $2,500. Tab, I really need you to do the things by the book. Oh, you're only a 50% chance of doing that, huh? It's the best thing you have available, though. Okay, we're gonna need some R&R team building as well. Get on it. You have 50% chance. Oh, 100% chance to go home early. But I don't need you to go home early, Tab. I need you to do this thing by the book. You failed to do it the last 2 times, so here's you another chance. Countless hours of grilling Adams, and I have nothing. Well, I bring good news. It was a long questioning, but I've managed to gather an extensive list of descriptions and partial names from Nowak. Each is a potential hit or a dud. We have to start digging into this list. Here's a full name here. Helene, or Helena. Let's go Helene. Helene Kaufus. I'll see if I can track her down. Yeah, go track down Helene. Greetings. In light of some of the recent developments, it occurred to me that there was a personal aspect best disclosed for the record. It has to do with my background. Have you been in a mental facility, Tab? I want you to know that during college, I was part of a group that subscribed to an anti-authority political outlook. Okay, so you were an edgy college kid who wanted to take down the man. I gotcha. Evidently, I hold none of those views today. Did you do anything illegal as part of this group? Hell, Thompson, that's not even in your file. Why would you go and tell me this? Or that's worrisome, Tab. Makes it hard to trust you with sensitive tasks giving our enemy. Did you do anything illegal? No, technically not. It's in the past. Well, let's leave it at that. Let's focus on the task at hand, or keep away from your anarchist friends at least until this operation's over. No, I mean the past is the past, Tab. Very well. Tab, you finally did it. Success. The chief called in to say that they appreciated the balanced books we keep. All right, everybody just stayed on the straight and narrow. No increases or decreases. That's good. That's good to hear. Your HR files are ready. Ooh, Tab is pretty low motivation level. Tab, what's up, buddy? Low motivation, huh? Maybe I should let you go home early. A day of infamy. We will end the episode soon, I promise. I know it's been long. We thought we were safe. Then we saw the flash of the first explosion. We heard it then, the second explosion somewhere further away. We are no longer safe. To the detective wall? What's the detective wall? Oh, this thing. Okay. So we're piecing things together little by little. All right, let's go on to the next. Let's start the next thing, get to the next interrogations, then we'll end the episode. Kofos is extremely shady. She had been asking plenty of questions about the final bomb site, both online and offline, even visits to the site for thinly veiled reasons. Clients of her yoga studio reported that she tried to interest them in an organization which wanted to make a new world. We have a strong suspicion about who she might be on the chat room, even though it's gone quiet. So I think we have a slam dunk Liberation Front member in our grasp. Probably a false flag, but bring them in to check. Ugh, finally bring them in. Fuck yeah, interrogation time. Finally, bring them in. Well, I've already sent a squad to bring her in. She seems absent from the regular locations for a few hours now. So it might be a while, but I have other good news. Kofus has had a lot of contact with one Cassandra Higgs. Meetings, money transfers, contact between the two spiked significantly before the attacks. So while we look for Kofus, I'll grab Morty and try to find Higgs. Well, thank you. Hello, Tab. We have a situation. Jen called. She and Mordecai found Higgs. Is he dead? Is he barricaded somewhere? From the little that they got by talking to her, I said he, but obviously it was she. They identified a very suspicious friend with her, too. One Lucas Romano. He seemed extremely nervous talking to the police, and when the two suspects had a window, they bolted. Oh, they ran, huh? There was a chase. The two of them, who seemed to be armed, have holed up in an arbitrary establishment, a veterinary office. Oh, great. Hostage situation? Hostage situation. They have hostages, too, it seems. They're making demands. We have a line in. We'll put you on a call with them. I've lined up the case files. Morty is bringing you the perp's boyfriend urgently, one Amatis Garcia. If you obtain the release of hostages or one of the perps, it'll take a while, but we'll bring them in to you for question. Okay. Alright, well this is where we end the episode. Sorry it's went so long. These have been kind of... We end up asking a lot of questions and reading through every bit of dialogue and having to go back and check some things. So these episodes have definitely not been short ones. But thanks for the patience and sticking through it. Or just fast forwarding if you did that too. But thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it. And hope to see you again next time.